Yo, what's up, you guys? I'm gonna jump right into this haircut. This is basically a medium/high skin fade on the side, and I ended up taking a little bit off the top. So yes, here I'm starting off with my Andis Masters with the 1/16 guard, and I'm creating my first initial guideline. And I'm doing this at this length because, like I said in my previous videos, I don't like creating a harsh line to start off with. So here I'm basically removing that clip from that machine and opening the level all the way open and working my way downwards, slowly closing the level as I go. Always working a downwards motion in the sense of like you're trying to fade downwards instead of upwards. And basically I'm trying to achieve here is about right above his ear. I want to be done with the fade in the sense that I'm trying to have the machine completely closed. So here I'm just going back and forth doing some touch-up work, and then I'm working the same system throughout the whole side of his head and the back and the other side. So once again, grab your machine all the way open, no guard, right underneath your first initial guideline, work that machine open, then slowly, gradually start closing it until you reach the point where you can't close the machine anymore. And this will work perfect for haircuts like this if you're not trying to bring the fade too high, and also you don't want to worry too much at the end about basically getting that bald line out with your trimmers. When I first started cutting hair, that was my problem. I would always try to work a lot on the fade, but at the end of the haircuts I would always end up having to go back and work that balding line out like crazy. So yeah, here I'm just taking off some hair off the top. You just wanted to trim. I think I use a number 4. And I'm just making sure that I grab all the hair, keep brushing the hair downwards, and then against the grain with the machine. Here I got the 1.5 clip, and I'm gonna create another line, another shadow line, because like I said, don't create a big line that you're gonna have to worry about at the end to erase. So I'm doing it right above that initial line that I made with the 1/16 guard on the Andis, and this is the 1.5 guard on the Wahl Seniors, and I'm doing that all around the head. Now I'm going back to my Andis Masters, and with this one I got the number 1 clip, and I'm fading that 1/16 to the number 1.5 on the Wahl. Basically it is the middle point of both of those. Now you obviously see that I have a little bit of a line, but after this step that I'm doing right here, I'm going to grab that 1/16 guard like I do here, and I'm going to open it all the way, and that's going to remove the initial line that I made. Simple as that. Nothing crazy, and it's a very easy system once you get the hang of it. I will continue to use this system until you guys understand it, and then I can probably show you guys a different system that I sometimes use. Right now this is what's working for me. You know, us barbers, we get bored sometimes repeating the same system, so just to, you know, trick our minds and make it a little bit more entertaining, we like to switch our systems up. I'm pretty sure all you barbers can agree with me on that. So yeah, here I'm just gonna do that last line just to erase that little shadow that I see. And it's always good to use the mirror. Right here I just paused and I look back at my mirror and just cross-checked it. You know, sometimes your eyes can lie to you, but it's always a good thing to check with the mirror. So here I grab the number 2 guard, and with that 2 guard, I'm not going all the way up to the crown of his head. I'm just slowly applying pressure at the very bottom and gradually just lifting that pressure, kind of flicking out motion. Like I said, I'm not trying to dig into the number 4 that I ran in the top. I'm just trying to create that next level so that I can come back and fade downwards again. So this is the number 2 clip. I see it's open, and then I close it a little bit underneath that one, and then I'm gradually working my way in a downwards motion. Then here I'm going to go back to that 1.5 clip that I used, and I'm going to open it all the way, and from here you'll see that both lines start disappearing. I'm going to start with it open, then go back down to it closed, but I'm not going to close it and go higher. What I'm doing here is opening first, seeing what I got, and then close it after that. Now here I'm grabbing my 1 clip, on my Andis Masters, open, and I'm pretty much repeating all the same steps. If you guys want to see this video at a little bit slower pace, I could definitely post my next couple of haircuts in a slower pace. That way you guys can completely understand what I'm trying to say. But basically what I always tell people is to start with your clip open, then gradually close it as you work your way down. And here on the other side, I'm doing the same thing I did on the previous. And on the back here is really important because everybody has this specific point in their head where their hair just shoots out in all different types of directions. You got to be very careful here, because if you go in the wrong direction, you could definitely mess up the haircut. Not necessarily mess it up, but you'll definitely have to go higher with the fade, and that's something that you don't want to do. So here I'm just repeating the same steps that I did on the other side. So basically 1.5 open, 1.5 closed, and then I go back with my 1 guard on my Andis Masters, open and then close. Just trying to work those lines out. And the thing about barbering and the thing about getting everything down packed is that you want to repeat your steps. Just because with one stroke of the clipper, the lines aren't going to erase. It's not a magical clipper. The lines just don't erase like that. You got to continue to do your work. So yeah, here I'm doing his edge in the front. Basically I just like brushing the hair forward with my detail comb or taper comb. People like to call it different names. And I'm trying to grab as much hair down as possible. And here I'm doing the corners. I'm trying to keep the line straight. He has a tricky edge, but he doesn't want to get pushed back, which one of the reasons why he continues to come back to me is because he's like, yo, you never push me back. You try to keep it as straight as possible, but without pushing me back. And that's a trick that I will definitely share with you guys. And that is always starting in the highest point of the edge. You always got to start there, just because sometimes people start at the lowest point. And the reason why I start at the highest is because if you want a pretty much straight line and you don't want slopes in your edge, then you start at the highest point and then work your way across from left to right, right to left, middle to right, middle to left. Either way works. So here I'm just cleaning them up with my Andis T outliners. And once I do this, you see that I didn't leave any lines, because my Andis T outliners will blend right into my Andis Masters closed. So the last step. So yeah, my last step that I took with clippers will be where I am going to finish off with the T outliners. So very simple process. Once you guys get the hang of it, I promise you it will work. And then I'm finishing them off with the shavers, pretty much just to get that nice pop skin fade look. And here he removes his mask because I am going to do his goatee, so why not just take it off now. So yeah, I'm just finishing him up, like I said, with the shavers. And I'm not trying to create another line with the shavers. What I'm doing is I'm basically just trying to get those last couple of hairs around his neck and make sure that it's nice and smooth. Now here I'm just doing some touch-up work. You guys, for other beginners, you don't have to do this. At this point, you'll look at it and be like, man, I did it. I did a skin fade. It came out fresh. This is just us professionals that we try to just, go the extra mile for our client. And, our eyes are a little bit more trained. Over time you develop an eye and a little bit of key sense to where you're, what I see that, I want to touch it up, make sure that it's gone. So yeah, everybody will develop that over time. For household cuts, I'm not sure if you will, but you'll start getting better and better with practice. So yeah, here I'm grabbing my thinning shears or my blending shears. People call them different names. And I'm just kind of going at that transition line. It just kind of bothers me a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit dark right here. So I'm just going to hit those hairs. Nothing crazy. If you guys don't have a pair of these, it's very easy to find. Amazon, different beauty supplies. This just kind of blends in hair where you don't want to reach with scissors, because obviously you won't be able to grab that hair with scissors. You just kind of go at it with the comb and it'll definitely take care of that. Now here I am gonna do his goatee. He wants to trim it down to about a 1.5, so that's exactly what I grab on my Wahl Seniors. Grab the 1.5 clip, brush all the hair down, and then I'm gonna proceed to do the same thing around his lip area. He is already well trained in a sense where he knows when I'm around anywhere around his lip, he's gonna do the moving for me. A lot of clients, sometimes I just gotta tap the area and they already know. Some clients, you just gotta show them the motion you want them to do with their cheek or their lip, whatever you need them to do, and they'll definitely get used to it over time. Now here, he has a very light facial hair, and I remember when I first started cutting his hair, we never thought in a million years that we can give him a goatee. It was usually just like a separate thing. It was just, you know, the mustache, and then he had the chin hair. But here, as you can tell, he grew enough hair to connect both of them. So I'm very careful with what hair I'm going to touch, because I do not want to remove hair that is going to take away from the goatee looking fool. And here I'm just doing his eyebrows. I also do his eyebrows, and you'll see that in the next couple of steps. Here I just grabbed some elegant shave gel, brush all the hair down on his forehead, and I'm going to start with the corners. And here I do it with the blade. I use the Astra blades, and I'm doing it at an angle, 45-degree angle, and I'm just coming in ever so slightly because I do not want to push his hairline back. The trimmers already did most of the work for me. This is just like a touch-up process. And then I'm brushing the hair down, as you can see, with the comb, and then I'm coming back to make sure I grabbed all the hair. Now I'm reversing it on you guys, and I'm doing the same on this side. I'm still trying to work out the angles as to which I am showing you. It's kind of hard to cut with a camera facing you, because you have to make sure that you're not in the way of it. For the most part, I think it's I'm doing pretty good right now, because you guys can see everything. I can see it pretty clearly here. So, you know, just doing a little bit of touch-up work around the same places that I saw maybe I left a hair or two behind. And here I'm just doing his eyebrows. I start off with the top, and then eventually I'll lean him back and do the bottom. So I'll let you guys watch this here for a little bit. Be right back. So here I'm starting on the side of his cheek, of his goatee, and then I'm always every often just gonna lean back and kind of see how it looks from a distance. Like I said, he's very light, so sometimes it might look a little bit off, but I don't want to take too much in or dig too much into one side, because maybe it might throw away from the fuller look of the goatee. So here, like I said, I just pointed to the area, I tapped the area, and he already knows what to do. And then in the bottom here, I'm just doing a straight line across, making sure that, you know, as straight as it can be, straight as I can possibly do it, without bringing it down too low or taking away from that fuller effect. So then I'll let you guys watch, and then once we move on to the next step, I'll be back. So here I lean them back because I'm going to do the top part of his edge. I'm going to do against the grain because I like to make sure that it's crispy. And then I'm going to do the bottom of his eyebrows as well. That way I can get to that angle at the best. And now here I'm just cleaning up his neckline. Like I said before, it's really important to get all that area real good. So here, this is a little trick that I like to use on him. I like to put gel, brush it backwards and forward, and then brush it all the way down, and just get the little straggly hairs that everybody just, you know, leaves behind. But this is a good tip on how to grab all of those hairs. And like I said, I'm not pushing them back. I'm just grabbing those little baby hairs that sometimes, you know, with just dry hair you won't be able to see. And here I'm just hitting it with the blade, and, you know, that just cleans it up just that more crispier line. And I don't use enhancements. I might use them in the future here, but, you know, a lot of my clients just like that natural look, just because, you know, I don't like lying to them and being like, yo, this is gonna last 2, 3, 4, 5 days. A lot of the enhancements that I've tried just last up until you take a shower. So, you know, just I like doing the natural look. There's other enhancements that I know last a little bit longer, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, you guys, this was the video. This is my information. Probably gonna come out with another video tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. You guys be safe.